Guillermo Mash, and it's my distinct pleasure to have Mel Tillekeratne from Monday Night Mission dialing in from Los Angeles to give us an idea of the solutions for homelessness in LA and how the media is covering it. So welcome to the show, Mel, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, Guillermo. So thank you so much for having me on. My name is Mel, and I founded and I run Monday Night Mission. And what we do is we started off with just serving food to the people on Skid Row at night. And we started with just Monday nights, as in why we're named, but we quickly progressed to 5 nights a week, seeing the extent of the need down on Skid Row. But lately, what I mean by lately is in the last 2 years, in which, we've all noticed how rapidly worse than Skid Row and Los Angeles has got with the amount of homeless people suffering. We've taken a much bigger role as far as advocating for the homeless. So we serve on Skid Row Monday through Friday night. That's 52 weeks out of the year. But we also try to do our best to bring focus to issues that need attention, that help bring a solution to homelessness in LA.
Well, that's so beautiful to hear, Mel. I just got off the phone prepping for someone up in Eureka in Humboldt County, and I'm saying I'm not hearing enough about solutions for homelessness, actually getting out there and advocating and making the issues aware. Like that wonderful thing that you're doing about this whole car drive you're doing, a rally for a homeless emergency, declaring a homeless emergency in the state of California, and you're going to be driving up from LA all the way to Sacramento on the 30th of July. Why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about that, Mel?
What we're trying to do is actually, this is more on a scale of all of California. One of the main goals of our drive is bringing media attention to the fact that the state of California needs an emergency declared on homelessness. We have a lot of counties suffering. San Francisco, Sacramento, Oakland, San Diego, Orange County all have, in the past couple of years, noticed an upsurge in its homeless population. And they're trying to keep up with providing services, but they can't. So what we're trying to do is ask Governor Brown, who's been very hesitant to declare an emergency on homelessness, and as to how do we solve this issue we're facing. It's not a straight answer. It's not a one-shot answer saying, okay, we do this and everything's fine. It's a multi-pronged approach. And one of the things that particularly LA has done is LA has been releasing a lot of funds. Right now, the City Council of LA is focusing on passing a $1.2 billion bond, which is going to be appropriated towards permanent supportive housing. They put it on the November ballot, and if it passes, that's going to release money towards building permanent supportive housing. Also, as far as the whole of California, Pro Tem Senator Kevin DeLeon, they just championed a bill that releases $2 billion for all of California. And it's going to bring in a lot of funds that is needed. But the problem is, first, is it enough? And second, how fast it's going to get here. And to answer the first question, California has a big problem with rising apartment rates, especially LA, San Francisco, and the major metropolitan areas. And with that, we're continuing to see a growth in the number of people who become homeless each year. So is the amount of money enough? No, but it is a start. And to the second question, how fast will the money get here? Well, the problem is with these bills, with all these appropriations, with setting up taxes to fund them, whatnot, take a couple of years for that money to materialize. So what we're trying to do is, in asking Governor Brown to declare an emergency, it opens up just a state fund in itself for a $500 million. It's called the Economic Uncertainty Fund. And this $500 million is something we have access to as soon as that emergency is declared. So these are things that we are fighting for so that we can access it immediately until the rest of the appropriations, like the $1.2 billion bond. And also another thing that declaring an emergency does is it lets people in California, or the legislature in California, use any unused public buildings to house the homeless. So let's say you have a building that a state or a federal institution was using that's not in use anymore. People could use that to house people. In Seattle, I'm pretty sure you saw that they used a building that Amazon prior used to house homeless people for 1 year. They're using it as a shelter. So these are all things that we can get if an emergency declaration is put in place. And that's what this whole in Homelessness in California, a rally of love to Sacramento is about. We're going to drive 200 cars in one convoy from Los Angeles all the way to Sacramento. It's going to be a 7-hour trip. We're going to display flags and banners of the cities and counties of LA and the organizations partaking. And we're hoping to get people more involved and make people understand that we have a crisis and we need this emergency declaration to start addressing this crisis.
You know what I can commit to doing, Mel, with the context I hear in Chico, we're going to get a caravan. We're going to get down there so I can cover the story when you get there on the 30th. I think that's the least that we can do for the listening audience that's listening to this program here on 90.1 FM. And we are listening to Mel Tillekeratne, who's with Monday Night Mission out of the Los Angeles area. And tell us a little bit about the mission. I kind of mentioned before we started recording how, in a way, mission can sometimes be a preloaded term where everyone associates it with the religious missions that sprung up in the 60s that a lot of homeless folks, I would use the word forced to live in and get sermons and all that kind of stuff. And I understand that's not quite what you do, and maybe you could explain that for our listeners.
Absolutely. That's thanks for asking that question. The name Monday Night Mission just came about because we started serving on a Monday night, first time, myself and a couple of my friends and co-workers, and we needed a name. The program started because I drove through Skid Row by mistake for the first time, and I saw the extent of how bad it was. So we never thought it would progress from Monday nights to what it is now. So we came up with the term Monday Night Mission, but we actually don't consider ourselves tied to any religion or any other institution. We accept people from all walks of life who wants to join in and help in any way, because we see people from across the board who are religious, who show their religion by helping other people, and we also see a lot of atheists and agnostics who are good people who want to help. We're just people from LA. We got people from all over the globe actually helping. We have people who read about what we do, who, like last week, we had a couple of people from Switzerland who were in LA and they had seen us before online, and they're like, oh, you know what, I want to go and see how I can help. So it's just a loose term to put together just people who just want to help.
I love it. I mean, one of my favorite quotes by Tolstoy is, where love is, there God is also. So obviously you guys are spreading a lot of love, and I really, really appreciate that. And like I said, man, Mel, I'm really excited about what you're doing, because I think that's the biggest thing that's missing for the solutions for homelessness is the outreach, and then people literally going, I've had it, I'm getting 200 cars, and we're going to drive up to Governor Brown's State House and tell them what we need. I mean, that is just a beautiful, beautiful thing.
One of the things that people of California should know is the city of LA, the county of LA, and a couple of weeks ago, the State Assembly of California petitioned Governor Brown and said, hey, we have a crisis, we need emergency. And he's refusing to sign a declaration. Unfortunately, no matter how many votes we have, we need Governor Brown to sign off on a declaration. And signing a declaration of emergency, not just saying, okay, this is all the help we're getting. It's also understanding and admitting that we do have a serious crisis on our hands. Just in the city of LA, the LA Times posted an article a couple of months ago saying that each month, 13,000 people become homeless. Most of them get back on their feet, but a lot of them don't. And then, with all the homeless census that are being carried out, they don't capture the people who sleep in their cars. There's thousands of people in LA County, Southern California who sleep in their cars, but they'll never be counted in a census because they're afraid of the shame. So we have a real problem on our hands, and if this keeps continuing, it's going to come to a point where there's no turning back. What we need with this emergency declaration is to stop the tide and get everybody involved to understand this is a whole California-wide problem. This is our main point of focus. We need to bring long-term lasting solutions to homelessness.
Mel, that was so beautiful. I really appreciate this interview, and I'm going to get down there for sure. I'm going to meet you on the 30th. If I have to put out my thumb, maybe I'll get picked up by the caravan on the way up. But I think it's a wonderful, wonderful thing you're doing, and thanks so much. And big shout out to the rest of you guys down there in LA. See you on the 30th.
Thank you, Guillermo.
Thank you.
See you on the 30th.